Hey everybody, I'm wearing a hat today because it's Sunday and I'm having a lazy day and I didn't want to fix my hair, so you get Hat Jeremy today. Today I'm going to be feeding all of my animals, which is mostly fish tanks, also the snakes, the leopard gecko, the dog, the millipedes, everyone. So let's get started. First, I just want to say that I have been thawing out a couple of frozen rats, one for Charles and one for Jean. And so I'm going to let those continue to thaw while I film this video. As far as the fish go, today we're going to be feeding brine shrimp, frozen brine shrimp. I do provide a variety of foods to my fish. Sometimes I feed frozen brine shrimp, sometimes I feed frozen bloodworms, and sometimes I feed other things, fluvial bug bites, or flake foods, or other pellets. But today we're doing frozen brine shrimp. Now, a lot of you guys think that I have more animals than I really do. More fish tanks than I do, in fact, but truth be told, one cube, just flew all the way down here on the floor. 1 cube of brine shrimp will be enough to feed all of my fish. So I've got the brine shrimp cube in a cup here. I'll go ahead and put a little bit of water in there. And because I'm using tap water, I am going to use water conditioner as well, but I'm not going to use regular aquarium water conditioner because that stuff is so concentrated and this is such a small amount of water. Instead, I'm just going to use a few drops of Reptisafe. It's the same thing, it still dechlorinates the water, it's just a lot less concentrated. So that should be good, a couple drops of Reptisafe. And we're gonna let that brine shrimp thaw out in here.
A few moments later.
Here we go. It's thawed out. So let's start feeding some fish. So generally I start with the pea puffers. Now I have 2 pea puffers in this 10-gallon tank. There's one right there, and there's another one right here. I used to have 3, and I had 3 pea puffers in here for about a year. But unfortunately, one of them just recently passed away. So I'll just grab a squirt of brine shrimp here. And I'll just drop a couple of drops in. There we go. Here we go. And then next, I just move on down the line to Tamara here. And her coloring doesn't show up very well on camera, but she's got yellow fins and a blue body. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab another dropper here. And I didn't use a whole drop before, but here I'm not even gonna use a whole drop either. I'm just gonna use a couple of squirts. It's very easy for betta fish to overeat brine shrimp and bloat, and I'm trying to avoid that, so I'm going to make sure that she gets just a small amount of brine shrimp. If you look, her belly is already kind of fat from that. Just that small amount made her fat. Next, we're going to move down to Raven. Raven is also going to get just a very small amount of brine shrimp. Just a couple of drops. As you can see, she really enjoys the brine shrimp. Alright, looks like she got all of that. So we're going to come over here to Dart. And just like all the other bettas, he's just going to get a couple of drops. And when I say a couple of drops, let me demonstrate. Like that. That's all that I'm feeding them. Here we go. Gonna eat. Awesome. Moving on. Next, we're going to go into the kitchen. And we're going to feed Onyx, who's hiding out right there. There he is. My other male betta. His tank is a little bit easier to open. I can just do that. And again, just a couple of drops. He didn't get enough. So next I usually feed my 20-gallon tall tank. Now we're not feeding the mystery snail today, wherever he went. Oh, there he is, he's in the back. The mystery snail only gets fed every few days, and he just ate 2 days ago. But today we are gonna feed the fish. So I have to move the front light back because, as you can see, I have 2 lights. And I can't open the lid with this light here, so I have to move it back and then open the lid. And look at that, Mary is ready. She's like, feed me. So I go ahead and grab some brine shrimp. And since there's rasboras in here, I usually feed a little more food than what I feed just the bettas. There's no food left. They got it all. Mary's going to go down to the bottom and search for missed pieces, which don't exist because The reservoir has never let any brine shrimp go to waste. Next, we're going to feed my 29-gallon community tank. Just right here. This has my Pristella tetras in it. It has my beta Tia. There she is. It has my beta Tia in it. It has coolie loaches, which I don't know if you can see, but there's one down there. There's another one back there in the shadows, which I don't think you can see. One in the back, right there. And then also a ghost shrimp is in here. So let's go ahead and open this. And so this is going to get a much bigger helping. Usually 2 scoops.
2 scoops!
Of brine shrimp, so it's basically snowing brine shrimp in this tank. Tetras are eating it and loving it. Tia is loving it. And I make it rain brine shrimp in this tank because I want some to actually reach the bottom. There's my ghost shrimp right there. Looking for a piece to eat. My coolie loaches, whenever I put brine shrimp in here, like sometimes I'll see a piece reach the bottom. There we go, there's a coolie loach looking for some food. There they are, coming out. They taste that brine shrimp in the water and they're looking for some. Next, I take whatever's left and I feed it to the shell dwellers. Now, yes, there's a bunch of algae in this tank. I actually cleaned this tank today and that algae is still there. I need a more powerful scraper. But there's not very much left in here. So usually I just go ahead and dump what's left. There's a bunch of shell dwellers and fry in here. So they usually don't let anything go to waste. But also, since that brine shrimp might be too big for some of the fry to eat, I also always make sure I put some first bites in for the babies to eat. Because I do have some very, very tiny babies down here. There we go, there's a light dusting of the first bites in there as well, and the babies will eat that. I need to get an algae scraper that has a razor blade on the end so I can get all this stuff. Because this tank is so hard to get rid of the algae in. The algae is so strong it doesn't even scrape off completely. Or at all in some spots. Look at all that fry back there. Down there. There's fry all over the tank. So that's it for the fish. But next I usually feed my axolotl, Amy. Here she is. She's like, hey, you got food. I see you've got food. And she eats a variety of frozen bloodworms and other kinds of worms such as earthworms and red wigglers. And sometimes she'll even eat mealworms or superworms. It's rare, but sometimes she will. And sometimes, like today, she eats carnivore pellets, these sinking carnivore pellets from Hikari. And these are actually really, really good for her. She loves these. Look at her. Look at her. She knows. She's ready. So I'm going to go ahead and open up her tank. And you see the light shift when I push the lid back a little bit. And I love hand feeding her these pellets here. So you see I stick it in the water just a little bit to soak it so that it sinks. And I line it up exactly with her head. And then I drop it. And she eats it. And the ones that she misses, like there's one that she missed right there, she will eat those. When I walk away, she'll hunt those down and eat them. Alright, now leave her to hunt those pieces that are down there down. And she won't hunt them down while I'm watching her, especially with the camera and this bag of food in front of her. She's very smart. She knows what this bag is. So I need to walk away, and she will hunt those down. When I come back later, those will probably be gone. So next, we're going to feed Ghost, who's hanging out inside his calcium dish and making a mess. He always makes a mess with his calcium dish. So let's open up his enclosure here. I have these clips that I put up there just to keep him from getting out. I don't think he can push this lid open anyway, but I just, as an extra precaution. So for Ghost, what I feed him is actually a variety. Sometimes he gets hornworms, sometimes he gets crickets, sometimes he gets dubia roaches, sometimes he gets superworms, but he doesn't really like them. And today, he's going to get dubia roaches. So I have gut loaded these dubia roaches. In here, I keep a mixture of calcium powder and his multivitamin, his Reptivite. And I found that just keeping a mixture of that for dusting his roaches is pretty good. And so let's go ahead and let's go in here and let's get some roaches out. There's one. There's another. Here's another. There's another. There we go. So there's 5 roaches of varying sizes in there. I don't feed him very large roaches because, you know, he can't eat them. Pick them up. Set this to the side here. Hey, Ghosty. Hey, dude. You ready to eat? Alright, so let's grab a roach. Good boy. Get you another one. Let's get another angle here. There you go. Good job, buddy. Good job. Good job. See, we've got 2 more in here. Knock some of the loose powder off. There we go. No, he's done. Are you done? Yeah, he's done, I guess. Yeah, he's done. Okay. So he ate 3 today. Or sometimes he eats more, sometimes he eats less. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 2 that he didn't eat and put them back in here. You live another day. Guys live another day. Are you hungry? You want to eat dinner? Yeah? Yeah? All right. So, I know a lot of people are against kibble. They're like, oh, feed the raw diet. I have not switched over to the raw diet yet. I'm still feeding kibble. So I'm going to go ahead and get a scoop of that. Hey, Buffy. Yeah. And I'm going to get her some fresh water. And she'll probably start eating while I'm getting her water. She is eating already, you can hear her. Look at the tail going. She's so happy to be eating. Something that's very interesting about my 2 snakes is that they have totally different preferences when it comes to their food. Yes, they're both eating rats. Gene is on rat pups. And Charles, right now he's eating small rats because he just started eating again a few weeks ago. But I will be moving him back up to medium rats the next time I have to buy rats for him. But Jean, she likes her food thawed out on this heat mat and just served to her dry like this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But Charles, on the other hand, he will not eat a dry rat. I have to soak his in hot water before I serve it to him. So we'll get to him in a minute. There's Jean. Ready to eat, I'm sure. Look at her. Such a good girl. And then I've got the rat here. So I'm going to go ahead and just... She's ready. She's ready. And she probably doesn't like being watched when she's eating, so I'm just going to leave her be. Charles, on the other hand, won't eat his food if it's dry. It has to be wet. So I'm going to run some hot water in here. I'm going to go get his food. Hey, are you done eating? Yeah? Good girl. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this. Let's unplug this heat mat so that I don't set my house on fire. This is probably warm enough for him already, but like I said, it has to be wet. He will only eat it if it's been in hot water. So here we go. We will go ahead and dump the rat in there. Alright, now let's take this into Charles. And also, unlike Jean, who likes to strike and constrict her food, Charles does not. He has not struck at his food in months. Instead, what I usually end up doing is I just lay his food on top of his hide right there, and he'll eat it overnight. There's Charles in there. His rat. I always lay it the same way for him so he knows exactly what it is. I get it. There we go. The head just kind of hanging off there, right in front of the entrance to his cave. He will eat it at his leisure. I know better than to dangle a rat in front of his face because he won't eat it. They'll just stress him out. So I'm not even going to try. When I come back in the morning, that rat should be gone. Hopefully it'll be gone before then. So here's the millipede enclosure. And as you can see, I've got a little food and water dish for them right here. I also mist down their enclosure quite often. But this food looks like it's getting a little discolored. So it's time to take that out and replace it. So what I feed my millipedes, I do have a carrot stick in here that they've never touched. In fact, I think I'm going to take that out now. I need to get them fresh water. But what I feed them is this Arthronoms. I have a bigger container of it here, but this smaller package of it that I've only used half of is what I got from the breeder for free when I bought the millipedes a couple months ago. And I haven't gone through all of it yet. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up a plastic bottle cap with some of that. There we go. I'll go ahead and put that in the enclosure right here. And I need to get them some fresh water as well. And here's the bottle cap of fresh water. I use dechlorinated water in this case. Normally I use purified bottled water, but I'm all out, so I'm using dechlorinated Reptisafe water right now. I have 3 millipedes in here, and you can't really see them right now because they're not out, but there's one of them right there. You barely see him hiding out. I got 2 more in here somewhere. They're not wanting to come out right now. That's fine. This carrot, you know what I can do? Because I can give it to the dubia roaches. That's what I think I'm going to do. There we go. So now it won't go to waste. It's in there. In fact, I need to give them some water cubes as well. For water for my feeder insects, I feed cricket quencher. I usually just put a little spoonful of cricket quencher, this Fluker's cricket quencher in here. There we go. And that'll keep them hydrated. There we go. There you have it, guys. That's me feeding all of my pets. Obviously, this is not like a care guide or a nutrition guide or anything like that. This is just one day of feedings. There is a lot more to it than just feeding brine shrimp to my fish and dubia roaches to my gecko. You know, I have to give everyone fresh water. I have to mist everyone's cages down. There's a lot more that goes into caring for these animals than just feeding them these items that I fed them today. So please don't take this as a complete care guide because it is not. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below. And also, if you're not subscribed to me already, you probably should be. So hit that subscribe button as well. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.